But let's bring you this other major developing story. News just in, 4 people being shot and killed in a drive-by shooting at Moletlane, just outside Zebediela in Limpopo. That incident, which is believed to be linked to taxi violence, claimed 4 lives, including 2 taxi drivers, a passenger and a passerby. Our reporter, Pimani Baloyi, is at the scene for us and joins us now for the latest. Pimani, what happened?
Good morning, Ayanda, and good morning to our viewers. Information at our disposal, Ayanda, is that at around 5 a.m. this morning, a few cars, we're not sure how many cars, who had armed men drove in, and the target, from what we understand, are those 3 taxis that are parked behind me, and that 2 taxi drivers from those taxis were shot and killed. 1 taxi driver, we were told, was able to escape unharmed, but a passenger from one of the taxis was also shot and killed, and then 6 passengers, we understand, were shot and injured and rushed to nearby hospitals. But what we understand, there's a 4th person that was also shot and killed. Ayanda, he's the driver of that buggy that you also see behind me. What we are told is that this is a man whose car broke down last night, and when his car broke down, he decided to sleep here in order to guard his car so that it's not stolen overnight. But this morning, as he was sleeping, this shoot-in happened, and when he tried to get out of his car to flee this shooting, he was caught in the firing line and he instantly died. So what we know, Ayanda, it's 4 people. The suspicion is that it's taxi-related. The targets were those 3 taxi drivers who were driving passengers. Some, we understand, the taxis were heading towards Polokwane at 4 a.m. I'm sure people were traveling to work to get to work as early as possible. But 3 taxi drivers were caught and killed. 1 escaped unharmed. Right now, as you can see, Ayanda, it's an active crime scene. Forensic officers are busy working at the scene. There's also a lot of community members in Zebediela whom we've spoken to off the record. They're not necessarily willing to speak to us on record, saying that they are fearing for their lives because, according to them, this is actually the 3rd shooting, taxi-related shooting incident that happened in this community. 1 happened earlier this year where 2 people were shot and killed. A 3rd one, we are not sure what they're talking about, but what is currently happening, as you can see, forensic officers are about to pick up the bodies of the deceased. They've been lying here from as early as 5 a.m. when the incident happened. So residents are saying, because this scene is close to a police station, they don't know if they are safe or not. They don't know if police can secure their safety. One of them was even telling us that they fear getting into taxis because the target seems to be taxis, and it looks like even if they're looking for taxi operators and taxi owners, civilians that are in those taxis also come within the firing line, and they tend to lose their lives because, as you know, Ayanda, 1 civilian who was a passenger in these taxis did lose their lives, and 6 people are currently recovering in hospital, where we are told that they've been shot and injured. At this point, police are at the scene. They're investigating. It does not look like there's any information around who the shooters are, how many vehicles they were in, and where they fled to, or any recovery of the firearms that were used during the commission of this crime, Ayanda. So at this point, police are investigating. We will be speaking to the spokesperson of the police here in the province to give us an update in terms of how their investigations are going, and also searching for the said suspects, but also get an update because residents say this is a 3rd scene in a period of less than a few months, how far the previous 2 investigations are going, and if they will be making any headway soon, or if anybody in the taxi industry is involved and how they are involved, Ayanda.
Yeah, and Pimani, I suppose it'd be of interest to kind of get a peripheral view of where you are so that we have a better sense for our viewers of the scene itself, especially since you have just described to us that it's still by and large active. Chilling, though, to believe or to imagine what could have happened if the shooting actually took place during peak hours.
Yes, Ayanda, it would have been deadly if it was during peak hour, because you can imagine at 5 a.m. at least not a lot of private motorists are not moving. It's commuters that use public transport to get to work that are mostly moving around. But right now, Ayanda, as you can see around me, residents of Zebediela are out in numbers. This specific intersection that we're in is actually close to a complex, a shopping complex where people move to constantly. So you can imagine, had it happened in the afternoon, this shooting, a lot of people probably would have been caught in the firing line. But probably this is also the reason why the shooters could have chosen early in the morning so that they target only the people that they were targeting at. But unfortunately, 6 people have been shot and injured. 1 civilian did die, and also including the driver of that van over there behind me. He also died when he had nothing to do with this taxi-related violence. Ayanda?
Sure. And has there been any word from taxi associations since you've arrived there, Pimani? We're seeing a whole lot of interest from residents, understandable, given just how proximal this is perhaps to their homes. But what are fellow taxi drivers saying about perhaps even what the day ahead looks like?
Taxi operators are actually scared, Ayanda, and most of them have indicated that they are not comfortable speaking to us yet. But also the families of some of the deceased, we've also seen some of them. We had even arranged an interview with them. But at the last minute, they told us that, they'd been advised by police that since this is still an active crime scene, they should wait for the scene to be cleared. So even the taxi operators, that's what they're telling us. Even though they are scared for their lives, they don't want to be publicly identified right now. They don't want to be associated with the scene, but it has been something that has been scaring them since they see these incidents keep continuing without police actually catching whoever is behind these shootings, Ayanda.
Right. Pimani Baloyi, thanks very much indeed for that early update. Live to us there from an active scene of a shooting that's claimed the lives of 4 people. Is believed to be taxi-related in some instance. Really concerning what's taken place, given, of course, just how busy that particular intersection has been. So we'll certainly get you more on that story throughout the course of the day. Pimani Baloyi, live to us there from Zebediela.